Ninja has a new grill in its outdoor lineup, and I've been beta testing it for months. I'm going to tell you how to cook on it and what makes it different from every other propane grill. Let's talk about the Ninja FlexFlame. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Barbecue Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Christie Vanover, champion pitmaster, cookbook author, the girl behind one of America's top barbecue websites, Girls Can Grill, and a contestant on Food Network's Barbecue Brawl. I'm here to bring you some quick barbecue tips to help you up your barbecue game. All right, guys, this is a special edition. Usually the podcast drops on Thursdays. However, there is a brand new grill coming out today, which is Tuesday, February 25th, that I had to talk to you guys about on the day that it drops, so you have all the information just in time for the release. The new grill I'm talking about is the Ninja FlexFlame. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a fan of the Ninja Outdoor Grill. I was actually part of the infomercial for the Ninja Woodfire Grill, and I got to beta test that before it actually launched. I thought at first an electric grill with some pellets. I don't know how this is going to compare to the dozens of other grills that I've cooked on, live fire, charcoal, gas, etc. I was blown away by the Ninja Woodfire, and I've been a fan ever since. Well, now Ninja has come out with a propane grill. This is the Ninja FlexFlame, and I've been working with them for months on this project. I provided some consultation on the grill, I did some beta testing on the grill, and I'm really excited to say that it is now out, it is now available, and you guys can pick one up for yourself. What makes the Ninja FlexFlame different than every other gas grill is the way that it functions. So yes, the heat is propane gas. However, it's also a smoker. You can add wood pellets and get real wood fire flavor technology. It does require electricity because that's what powers the control panel that makes cooking on this grill so easy. I want to start with how the Ninja FlexFlame is similar to other gas grills. So this version is a freestanding model, and it is a full-size grill. It's not like the Woodfire, which is more like a tabletop grill. This is a full-size outdoor grill. It is similar in that it has a propane tank that fits underneath the grill. It stores inside of some cabinets. Then inside the grill, there are 3 burners that you adjust, and it's got some side shelves. But that's about all the similarities that you're going to get with traditional gas grills. Here is what sets it apart. With traditional gas grills, you're usually going to have like 3 burners with 3 dials that control each burner. And you can adjust those burners manually from low, medium, or high. And you can keep them on or you can keep them off, and that's how you do your indirect heat cooking. Some of the newer models of gas grills do have digital technology where you can set the temperature of the different burners and you can kind of control things that way. The Ninja FlexFlame is different. Whereas most of those grills, the burners are running kind of from the front to the back. The Ninja has the burners running from side to side. At first I thought, how is this going to work? Because I'm not going to really be able to do indirect cooking and have like a whole zone to myself on the side. Well, instead, you're just having zones go the other way. So it's just kind of a matter of kind of changing the way that you think about things. But the cool thing is that Ninja doesn't even make you have to think. So it's all so intuitive, which is obviously typical of Ninja products. They make things so easy where you just push buttons and things happen. With this grill, there are 4 basic functions. I'm going to touch on all of the differences, including the fact that you can get real wood fire flavor with wood pellets on a gas grill. The 4 grill functions are grill pizza, 2-zone, roast and bake, and low and slow. Once you choose your function, then you choose your temperature and you get cooking. When you use the grill pizza setting, all 3 burners will turn on and you'll have a temperature range of 450 to 600. This is the exact setting that you want to use if you want to grill up burgers or grill up steaks, do any kind of hot and fast grilling. It's also the pizza setting, which is why it's called grill pizza. So you'll use the pizza stone accessory for that. You will set your temperature based on the pizza guide and the type of pizza that you're making, anywhere from that 450 to 600 range, and you'll cook it directly right there on the pizza stone on the grill grates. Or if you're just cooking up steaks and burgers, you're just going to cook them on the grill grates themselves, choosing the temperature that you want. Again, all 3 burners are on, so you can use the entire surface of the grill. If you use the 2-zone setting, this is where you have the option for direct heat and indirect heat cooking. With this setting, your front 2 burners are on and your back burner is turned off. The temperature range at this setting is 350 to 500, so it's great for some direct heat cooking, but by creating that indirect heat zone, turning off that back burner, you can do things like chicken breasts, where maybe you want to get a sear on them at first, and then you kind of want to move them to the back burner so that they cook a little bit more slowly, or you can even move them up to the upper rack so they cook a little bit more slowly. I will say when I'm using the 2-zone setting, I do find myself either using the upper rack or getting rid of the upper rack altogether. It is a little bit challenging to cook your food under the rack because there's just not a whole lot of clearance for when you want to like flip the meat. It's okay for smaller things like chicken breasts or chicken tenders, but if you've got like a bigger steak or something, then it's a little challenging. So putting it on the top rack or removing the rack altogether is the way to go with 2-zone cooking. The 3rd zone is one of my favorites, and it is also what sets the Ninja FlexFlame apart from other regular grills. With regular grills, you have the direct zone and indirect zone, and we've already touched on that with the first 2 functions. With roast bake, the middle burner is turned off and the front and back burners are turned on, and your temperature range is 300 to 450 degrees. The reason I love this setting so much is because this is the proper setting for baking on the grill. You heard me right, baking on the grill. So if you want to make cookies or pies or cupcakes, you can do that on the Ninja FlexFlame and you don't have to worry about the bottom burning. So many times when I cook on a gas grill or even a charcoal grill, if I'm baking something, I have to make sure that I elevate it on an inverted pan or something else so that the bottoms are not too close to the heat. Even if I have the heat kind of turned off in an indirect area, it still tends to be something that needs a little bit more of a finesse to make sure that you don't burn the bottoms. With the Ninja FlexFlame, I threw a pan of cupcakes right on there. I didn't elevate them at all. I just set it to the roast bake function and voila, they came out perfect, just like they were cooked in an oven. But you get the addition of the wood fire flavor if you want it, which I'm going to talk about so soon. The last setting is the low and slow setting. This is where you're going to have just the middle burner on and your temperature range is 200 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. What makes this unique is this turns your grill into a smoker. You heard me right, gas grill, smoker. Propane fuel with smoke and low and slow temperatures. Now, I have cooked things on a gas grill before with the intention of smoking it. I've either put wood chips or wood pellets in a foil pouch or in a pellet tube, and while it works, it creates cooked food with a little bit of smoke flavor. It's nothing like the FlexFlame, and this is why. The Ninja FlexFlame has a cyclonic fan inside. So it's not just a grill where the heat is coming up from the bottom and trying to cook the food evenly. No, there's this fan that is taking that heat and circulating it kind of like a convection oven throughout the grill. So your heat is even on all sides, and when you lift the lid on your grill and cool air comes in, as soon as you close the lid, that fan is kicking that heat right back around all your food. So it's not kind of like waiting for the heat to rise and refill the whole chamber. The fan is assisting it the whole time, so you're getting that circulation of heat. And if you add the wood fire flavor with the pellets, you're getting an even circulation of smoke. Let's talk about that smoke and wood fire flavor. On the right side of the grill, above the control panel and the shelf, you are going to find your hopper. This is where you lift your lid and you can fill your hopper with about 2 cups of wood pellets. Then all you have to do is push the wood fire flavor button on the grill and it will ignite. If you have a Ninja wood fire, you're really familiar with this whole process to where you fill the hopper, push the button, and then all of a sudden it's going to ignite and it's going to start to burn those pellets and it's going to start blowing smoke right into the chamber of the grill. And again, with that cyclonic fan, it's going to blow that smoke into the grill and circulate it evenly as well. And the cool thing is you can add wood fire flavor with any function, whether you're just doing some quick steaks, whether you're doing indirect cooking, whether you're baking cupcakes, or whether you're going low and slow with a brisket. And because of the fan, because of the smoke, because of the way that the heat circulates, it creates amazing bark on your barbecue. And that is just something that you don't get with other gas grills. When I've smoked brisket on a gas grill before, it doesn't give you that real crusty bark with the mahogany color. It's just more, like I said, kind of gray, kind of boring. But the way the Ninja works, just like with the wood fire, you're getting that bark, you're getting that crunchiness, that flavors that just has so much impact. and then it's still locking in all the juices, and so it's just delicious. And you're getting plenty of smoke. So let's talk about a couple other things with the smoke that I've observed with everything that I've cooked on it. The wood pellets themselves will burn for about 45 minutes. So if you fill the hopper up, like I said, about 2 cups, and you push that wood fire flavor, it's going to run for about 45 minutes. If you're doing a short cook, no problem. 1 round of pellets, that'll do you good. But if you're doing a longer cook, like a pork butt or a brisket, you're probably going to want to refill that hopper all the way up until the point where you wrap the meat. So for me, a brisket, I usually refill the hopper maybe 2, maybe 3 times, depending on how much smoke flavor that I want. Quick note about refilling the hopper: if there is still some smoke happening, if there's still some pellets inside that have some embers, you can go in and put in 2 more cups, and they should reignite. The existing embers should light up the pellets, and you shouldn't have to hit the wood fire flavor button again. However, if it's been like 90 minutes and you forgot you wanted to add more pellets, and you go out there and you add more and they don't ignite, no problem. All you have to do is push that wood fire flavor button. That'll kick the burner back on, and it will reignite them and get you some smoke again. Another thing that you can do on the Ninja FlexFlame that doesn't even involve turning the burners on is cold smoking. So if you want to cold smoke cheese, if you want to do smoked salts or smoked herbs, all you have to do is leave the grill completely off, but then add the pellets, push the wood fire flavor button, and then it's going to push smoke inside the chamber, but keep the inside of your grill heat free. So you're basically just getting the smoke that's going to infuse that cheese. Now, one word of caution, I would keep in mind whatever the temperature is outside. So if you're like me and you live in Vegas and it's 115 degrees, I may not do a cold smoke of cheese on that day because it's just so hot outside that it might start to not totally melt the cheese, but soften the cheese more than I want. Also, if you live in a really cold environment and maybe it's like below freezing outside, I probably wouldn't cold smoke on that day either because your cheese is going to be so hard, almost frozen, that it may not absorb the smoke. You're just going to have to do trial and error and see how much smoke you want to add depending on what you're actually cold smoking. So let's talk about the overall features of the grill beyond the cooking elements. So it does sit on a cart that's got 2 doors that open from the center. On the right side is where you're going to have your propane tank, and it sits in there and it connects to the propane regulator hose. And then on the left side, you've got some storage area. Plus, that's where your grease tray is. So that slides in and out, and there are some liners that you can put in there to make cleanup so much easier. But under there, there's plenty of storage for quite a few of the accessories. I'll talk about the upgraded accessories in just a minute, but basically the griddle and pizza stone will fit in there. Beyond that, you can add some grill tools or spices or wood pellets. There's plenty of room for all of that. Then outside the grill, it does sit on wheels. 2 of them lock in the front and the 2 in the back don't, so you can move it around your patio. It also has 2 shelves on the side that are pretty good size, so you can have your prepped meat or your cooked meat on there, no problem. And that's about it. Like, you don't really need more features than that on the outside because all of the features and functionality are on the inside when it comes to cooking on the grill. Let's talk about what else this grill can do beyond grilling. It is really like an outdoor cooking system because not only can you grill on it, not only can you roast or bake on it, but you can also use it as a griddle or a pizza oven. Both of these features are going to require some upgrades. For the pizza, you are going to need the Ninja Pizza Stone. You just place that right on the grill grates and you set your function to grill pizza and adjust the temperature according to the type of pizza you're making. Ninja also makes a pizza peel, which makes putting your pizza on and off of the grill super easy. If you want to use the griddle feature, you've got 2 upgrade options for that one. There's a half griddle and a full griddle. With either of them, you're going to remove a grill grate and then add the griddle to the grill right over the burners. If you do the half griddle, which is the one I love, you're able to use half of the side of the grill to cook up things like bacon, and then the other half of the grill with the grill grate to do burgers. So if you want to do bacon cheeseburgers, you can cook them both at the same time. Or if you plan on cooking for a crowd and you want to do a whole bunch of fried rice or a whole breakfast like pancakes, eggs, and bacon all at the same time, then you're probably going to want to use the full griddle. With that, you're just going to take out both grill grates and then you're going to add the full griddle plate right inside. I will leave links to all of those upgrades if you guys want to add those. I also do recommend getting the grill cover. It'll help protect it from weather, dust, things along those lines. And then you're gonna probably also want to get those grease tray liners. They're just nice aluminum foil pans. So when it's time to clean your grill, you can pull those right out and toss them away so you don't even have to worry about all that greasy mess. Let's talk about a few of the specs. The burners themselves are 37,000 BTU. The electric is 400 watts. The cooking space for the primary grilling area is 425 square inches. And then if you use the top rack, that's 121 square inches. And one cool thing about the top rack is because of the cyclonic fan, you can get even cooking up there too. So you can actually grill burgers on that top rack if you want to, depending on what setting you have the grill on. When it comes to price, the price right now is $999. I've seen it available at Home Depot already, and of course you can buy it on the Ninja website. And if you do plan to buy this grill, I would love it if you would use the link that I put in the show notes, because it gives me a small commission if a sale goes through, and it doesn't even cost you guys anything. It's just your way of saying, hey, thanks Christy, we appreciate all the info. So I'd love it if you guys use that link. Now that this grill has been released, I've got so much content I'm excited to share with you guys. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got lots of videos coming up. Please consider joining the Ninja Grill Recipes group. That's where I've got some exclusive content for the Ninja Woodfire and the Ninja FlexFlame. We also have a Facebook group for the Ninja FlexFlame community. I'll include a link to that in the show notes. And as always, you can go to girlscangrill.com, because that's where I have thousands of barbecue tips and hundreds of barbecue recipes, including several for the Ninja. And as always, you can follow me on all the socials at Girls Can Grill. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're getting the Ninja FlexFlame, join us in the Facebook group, tell us about your purchase, and let's get grilling. Thanks so much, guys. Happy grilling.